tells a loud story about France. It speaks of power, it speaks of wealth, it speaks of incredible change over 2,000 years. The history of a nation can be found not in grand monuments or dusty books, but in small, metal discs that have passed through millions of hands. These are the coins of France. Their journey is a remarkable one, starting with the very first tribes in the land we now call France, then the rise and fall of empires, then the reigns of powerful kings, then revolutions that shook the world, and finally, the money we use today. To understand this long story, we must look closely at these small objects. Long before the tricolor flag flew over Paris, the land we now call France was Gaul. Among forests and fields, the first coins appeared. About 2,500 years ago, Celtic tribes began making their own money. They were inspired by outsiders, especially the Greeks. Greek merchants brought beautiful gold coins called staters from distant lands. The Gallic tribes copied them at first, then evolved the designs into something uniquely Celtic. These early coins were often gold, valued for wealth and prestige. Their designs were not realistic portraits. They were abstract, symbolic art. One side might show a stylized human head with swirling patterned hair. The other side often showed a dreamlike horse, shown in parts, a leg here, a head there, a tail somewhere else. These designs reflected Celtic beliefs and artistic traditions. Then the Romans arrived and everything changed. Julius Caesar's legions marched across Gaul in the 1st century BCE, bringing Roman power and Roman money. The region was flooded with Roman denarii, sestertii, aurae. Roman coins were different, tools of a large organized state. Each bore the emperor's portrait, a piece of propaganda asserting authority. They were uniform and reliable, used for paying soldiers and collecting taxes. For centuries, they were Gaul's standard currency. A farmer could dig up a coin with Augustus or Nero's face, a direct link to Rome. These coins enabled vast trade, connecting Gaul to Britain, Spain, and the far eastern Mediterranean. But empires fall. As Rome's authority crumbled, coins grew scarce, setting the stage for a new chapter in the history of French money. And into the vacuum, a new people, the Franks, would rise. With the slow collapse of the Western Roman Empire, legions withdrew, minting fell apart. A power vacuum spread across Gaul. Into this void stepped new peoples. The most successful were the Franks, who built a new kingdom. Money became local, fragmented, a mirror of politics. Early Frankish kings like Clovis used Roman Byzantine designs, solidi and tremises, for legitimacy. Over time, Frankish names and symbols appeared, marking a slow shift in identity. Trade shrank. Life was uncertain. A single denier or seat might be all a person carried. People hoarded small silver discs, secret treasures in a dangerous world. Crude portraits, jumbled lettering, honest products of a difficult time. Each town, each monastery, each lord minted coins, a tapestry of currency. Out of this fragmentation rose Charlemagne, who would knit the economy together with a bold reform. 1 pound of silver, 240 deniers, a simple, standardized money that carried his name, Carolus. A clear cross, a clear inscription, instantly recognized as the emperor's money. Merchants could travel and trade with confidence across the empire. A Bordeaux vintner sold in Aachen and knew exactly what he held. The logic echoed for 1,000 years. Britain's pounds, shillings, and pence descend from this very structure. Governance improved, taxes standardized, fraud punished. Replacing the jumble declared imperial supremacy. In every transaction, a quiet reminder of unity. More than money, Charlemagne's denier helped hold a Christian empire together. But royal coinage would keep evolving, toward the birth of the franc. After Charlemagne, empire fractured, but the royal currency idea endured. Powerful nobles minted coins, kings fought to centralize minting rights. Royal symbols flourished, fleur-de-lis and the silver gros tournois proclaiming the king's authority. 1360, King John II's captured, a massive ransom demanded. To raise funds, France struck the franc à cheval. The franc, symbolizing the king's freedom. For common people, coins were survival. Wages into bread, cheese, a little wine. Coins were clipped. People weighed them carefully. War and plague hid wealth in fields, some hoards never reclaimed. A seed was planted. The name and idea of the franc would return in a revolution. From Renaissance to absolutism, coinage reflected growing royal power. None more than Louis XIV, the Sun King. The louis d'or, introduced under Louis XIV, became Europe's gold standard under Louis XIV. New mint technology brought precision and realism to portraits. On the reverse, crowned arms, a chorus of lilies, the crown's glory. Money, diplomacy, and prestige fused in the golden louis. Counterfeiting or theft could mean death. The monarchy guarded purity and weight. Commoners used copper and small silver. The golden louis was the coin of power. Its radiant image seemed to shine over the whole realm, but gold could not hide the gathering storm that would birth a new money. By the late 1700s, bankruptcy and inequality set France ablaze. Revolution swept away the king, aristocracy, and the old order. Paper assignats flooded the streets. Hyperinflation followed, barter returned. Out of chaos came a lasting solution: the franc, a decimal currency for an age of reason. Royal symbols vanished. Marianne, the Gallic rooster, and justice took their place. The decimal system made everyday life and commerce easier. The franc de la Convention proclaimed union and strength. Born of revolution, the franc would define French money for 2 centuries. Napoleon restored order, including the currency. In 1803, he set the franc on firm silver footing and fixed the gold-silver ratio. Stability made the franc one of the world's most trusted monies. Like Roman emperors, his profile filled the coins. Industrial minting and advanced dyes boosted detail and security. The 20-franc gold coin became an international standard, echoed across Italy and Switzerland. A young soldier carried silver francs, his pay, his link to home, the symbol of empire. A single coin can outlast an army, a witness to history. After Napoleon, the faces changed, but the franc endured. Monarchy, empire, and republic cycled through the 1800s. Coins mirrored power. Each regime left its mark, until the Third Republic restored liberty's symbols. Hercules returned. The beloved Sower strode into the sun, a hopeful national emblem. War reshaped coins. Silver, nickel, copper gave way to zinc, aluminum, iron. Vichy's travail, famille, patrie contrasted with liberty, equality, fraternity. After liberation, inflation forced the 1960 new franc. 1 equals 100 old. Designs honored work and heritage. Familiar symbols reappeared. By 1999, the euro began in accounts. In 2002, coins and notes replaced the franc. Some felt nostalgia. French symbols still jingle on euro coins. From tribes to empires, from kings to republics, to a united continent.